positioned by everybody, and everybody tells me. So thank you all very much, and Nick, I want to thank you very much. What a good guy, Ohio. I love Ohio. You know, I worked in Ohio for summers in Cincinnati, and I love Cincinnati. I had a great experience. It was early on, and it was a job. And I bought it with my father. I bought it and worked out really well. I stayed here. I ran the job myself. I was very, very young. And I bought it for this, and I sold it for this, and I looked good, and I felt good. It's like sinking that first putt or getting a home run your first time at bat. So I always had a great feeling for Ohio, and the people are amazing people. Thank you. I love you. I don't know if the media is getting this. I mean, here we have a full hangar, and we thought, well, this is a big, big hangar. This could take just about anything. And we figured the crowd would be okay, and we have so many thousands of people extra that we had to put them out on the runway, right? They never want to capture that, just so you understand. Right? So it's really fantastic. Let's address, thank you, darling. I love you too, darling. This is amazing. So let's address yesterday, should we? So, look, we had a tremendous rally in Chicago planned. We were going to have over 25,000 people. The arena was seating about 11,000. We had registered much more than 25,000. So what we did... That's all right. That's okay. I understand. You're loyal to other places. That's okay. But what happened, it was very interesting. So what happened, and these were great people. These are people like yourselves. These were people that want to make America great again. That's all it is. And they were pouring into the arena, good arena, everything nice, and all of a sudden, a planned attack just came out of nowhere, printed by, and it was printed by people that were professional people. If you look at the posters, they're all printed, they have a mark on them, who made them, all done by a group, all very professionally done, a disgrace if you want to know the truth. And with these thousands of people, and fortunately we were able to let a lot of them know, don't go, because we would have had a problem like you wouldn't have believed. Just like Big Nick over here, he would have been in there, they would have wiped him out, and that would not have been good. And we made a decision. We said, and I hated to do this because frankly it would have been easier to go. But I didn't want to see anybody get hurt. You would have had a problem like they haven't seen in a long time. Because we have people that are so amazing. And it's not necessarily loyal to me. It's loyal to the country. We want to see things. We want to see things happen. And they're loyal to the country. It's okay. USA is right. They're loyal to the country. They want great security. They want great military. They want to take care of their vets. They want a border. They want a wall. They want... Build the wall, folks. Don't worry. Who's going to pay for the wall? Who? Do we have a good time? You know, it's sort of interesting. I watched, well, I shouldn't say it, but I watched Little Marco, and I watched Lion Ted Cruz. Lion Ted. He holds up that Bible, and then he puts it down and he lies. Lion Ted. Even Rubio said, boy, he's a liar. He lies about everything. And you know, I have the evangelical vote. And I've had great support from Jerry Falwell Jr., everybody, Sarah Palin. We have such unbelievable support. But I have the evangelical vote, and I won in South Carolina. We did so well. And he was supposed to win in South Carolina, and I won in a landslide, and we got the evangelicals. You know why? Because they don't like liars. They don't like liars. But they said, just as I was coming in, I'm watching the news, and they said, well, at our rallies, we would never have anything like that. They don't have any people at their rallies. There's nobody there. Nobody cares. If they had this hangar that had about 4 people in the corner over there in that little corner office, and they'll call it a town hall meeting. You ever notice? They say town hall meetings. They always say, why don't you have more town hall meetings? I said, because I have too many people. I'd actually like to have a couple of town hall meetings, but I just, we'd have to turn away how many people? Like 24,000? We'll have 500. We'll turn away 24,000 people. So what happened yesterday was incredible. We dealt with law enforcement. So good. So good. We love our police. We love our police. But we dealt with law enforcement at every level. Secret Service, great. The whole group. And it was determined that if we go in, it could cause really bad vibes. And you have to understand, they want me to tell my people, please be nice, be nice. My people are nice. The people that came there were so nice.
That's right.
And let me tell you, the people that were there, that came there, that were invited there, thousands and thousands of people, they caused no problem. They were taunted. They were harassed by these other people. These other people, by the way, some represented Bernie, our communist friend. Now, really, Bernie should tell his people there weren't too many Hillary people there. You know why? I mean, in all fairness to Bernie, the reason there weren't Hillary people, they have no fervor. There's no fervor. Say what you want about Bernie, at least they have a little bit of fervor, right? But with Bernie, so he should really get up and say to his people, stop, stop. Not me, stop. They said, Mr. Trump should get up and this morning tell his people to be nice. My people are nice, folks. They're great. They're great. My people are great. My people are great. So here's the story. So we get up, and I make the decision, and the people in the audience were really devastated. You know, some of those people got there like you. They got there like 8 hours early. Now they're standing there for 8 hours, like you, right? Like you. Raise your hand. We love you people. Don't worry, I'll sign autographs. Don't let them rip you away from that position. No one's. The only one could rip you away is Nick Mango. That's the only. Him, we can't do anything about, right? So anyway, so what happened is everybody was fine. Everybody was behaving. And what they've done really on the other side, it was MoveOn.org or one of these groups, bad groups. These are bad people. Let me tell you, these are people that truly don't want to see our country be great again. I'm telling you. I'm telling you that.
True.
And we want to get along with everybody, and we can get along with people. We're going to unify the country. Our president has divided this country so bad. He has been I call him the great divider. You know, when he got elected originally, I said, you know, I don't think he's going to be a very good president. Who knows? I hope, frankly, I wished he were. I wished I didn't have to do this. I wish we had the right people. I wish we didn't have to do it. But we have to. We have no choice. When you look at the Iran deal, when you look at the horrible trade deals where we're losing a fortune to every country we do business with, our jobs are being sucked away. Our jobs are being sucked away. It's unbelievable what's happening. Our military can't beat ISIS. It's being depleted. It can't beat ISIS. Our veterans are being treated horribly. Our border is like a piece of Swiss cheese. The people just come pouring across. We don't have borders anymore. So let me just tell you. And on top of that, we have a divided country. We have black and white and every other thing. Income groups. Everybody hates everybody. Even in Congress. You look at Congress. You look at Washington. Look at the politicians. The politicians hate each other. The Democrats hate the Republicans. The liberals hate the conservatives. We have got to change our thinking. Yeah, and if there's a group out there, just throw them the hell out. That's it. So look, we cannot let our First Amendment, we just can't. We cannot let our First Amendment rights be taken away from us, folks. We can't let it happen. We have a right to speak. I mean, we are law-abiding people. We're people that work very hard. We're people that have built this country and made this country great. And we're all together, and we want to get along with everybody. But when they have organized, professionally staged wise guys, we've got to fight back. We've got to fight back. So, do you have anybody? Oh, hello. Do we have anybody? You know, I love the protesters because it shows what's happening. They will not show. The media is, by the way, the most dishonest group of people. They'll say today, Donald Trump came to Dayton and he had a small crowd, a smithering of people. Okay? They don't say it was so big it was bursting out of the biggest hangar I've ever seen. A small crowd or a representative crowd was there. You know, that means like what, 15 people? We have these crowds everywhere, folks. And let me tell you something. We have amazing people in this country. I am so impressed with the people of our country. We're going to start making Apple products in the United States, okay? When Carrier Air Conditioner says they're leaving the United States, 1,400 people, because they're going to build in Mexico, and Ford is going to build in Mexico, and Nabisco is leaving Chicago because they're going to build in Mexico, not going to happen with me. We're going to keep our businesses here. And let me just tell you, while we're on the subject, let me talk about your governor. Do you mind? For about 2 minutes, okay? I want to tell you. Because he's got, I mean, it's a boring subject, but we'll talk about him anyway. Look, he was the managing director of Lehman Brothers, which was one of the great catastrophes in the history of this world. Lehman Brothers failed and almost brought down the world, if you remember. And Kasich was a managing director. He was right in there dealing with all the big boys, all of the people that made these horrible decisions at Lehman. Another thing, he voted for NAFTA. You people forgot. He voted for NAFTA. Now, he was a congressman, and he voted for NAFTA. NAFTA has destroyed New England, but it's destroyed. I mean, you have fought for years and years and years, and you'll never recover completely from it, but you will if I get elected, because we're bringing those businesses back. So NAFTA, putting a vote up, in my opinion, anybody that puts his hand up for NAFTA, Clinton signed the bill, but NAFTA wiped out states. It wiped out entire states. It wiped out New England. It's taken years and years and years. And you look at those factories, and they're made into senior citizens housing, and it's all wonderful. But we need jobs, folks. We need jobs. We don't have our jobs anymore. Our jobs are going to China, to Japan, to Mexico. Our jobs are going to Vietnam. We're losing our jobs. We're losing our base. We're losing our manufacturing. We're losing everything. We're losing at every single item, no matter what, whether it's healthcare or whether it's trade. I mean, think of it. Our military. Do we have great military, right? But we have a problem. We have a problem. Our military can't beat ISIS. Now, I know we could knock them out in 2 days if we wanted to, but we don't have to. You know what I call ourselves? We're the politically correct warriors, okay? We can't attack the oil because it's going to go into the environment and it's going to affect the carbon footprint. Do you believe this?
No.
And have I been saying for 4 years, hit the oil, hit the oil, hit the oil? I've been saying it for years. And I also said, by the way, don't go into Iraq. You're going to destabilize the Middle East. I said it loud and clear. You know, they try and say, oh, but years ago. Let me tell you something. I said, don't go into Iraq. Now, it turned out that Iraq, you know, I mean, in all fairness, they didn't have weapons of mass destruction. I'm not saying I knew that. I said for other reasons don't go in. But we have destabilized the Middle East. All of the things that you see right now, that was one of the worst decisions ever made. Then you have Obama, and he made it worse. Because what he did, when he got out, instead of slowly getting out and not saying when and keeping some soldiers there, look, you shouldn't have gone in, you shouldn't have gotten out with everybody. And then what he does, he announces a date. We're going to be leaving by such and such a date. And the other side is looking and they're saying, I can't believe he gave us the date. It must be some kind of a wise guy move, right? It wasn't. He moved out that date. And they all just pulled back, and that's what they did. Do you remember about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, he said, we're sending 50 soldiers in, right? 50. And then you say, why can't we be unpredictable, right? In war. It's like these guys, these dishonest people back there, they're always saying, what would you do about ISIS? And I'm supposed to lay out my plans. I never wanted to say attack the oil to them. I never wanted to say it. I wanted to knock the crap out of them.
There you go.
But I don't want to say it. I want to surprise the enemy. You know, our wonderful, look, I want to surprise, you know, unpredictability. General Douglas MacArthur. I had great respect for MacArthur. I had great respect for General George Patton. You know what they're doing now? Right now they're spinning in their graves as we announce every single move. So we announced a few months ago, we're sending 50 soldiers. Now, number one, it's not even a good announcement because 50 soldiers, it sounds like that. But these are very elite people, very talented people. They right now have a target on their back because of the announcement. Why don't you just send them in, President, and keep your mouth shut and just relax. So let me just go over a couple of things with Kasich, and we'll be done, and you'll make a decision. He's not the right guy to be president. He's not tough enough. He's not sharp enough. In my opinion, he is. I mean, maybe he wins Ohio, and maybe he doesn't. He's very weak on illegal immigration. He's totally in favor of amnesty, which you cannot be in favor of. Look, folks. Either we have a country or we don't, all right? He's very, very weak on the illegal immigration, and he wants amnesty, and he's wanted it always, and he talks about it. Now, as far as cars, as far as everything that you have right now, your industries that haven't been taken out of Ohio, here's what we have to do. We have to protect your coal industry, which is getting decimated, and we have to protect your steel industry. Your steel industry is being decimated. It's being decimated. Now, your governor is in favor of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is a disaster. By the way, I'm telling you, it's a disaster, and I was so strong in the debate on it, and I think, did I do well in that debate? You know, I actually like debating the other way better. But they all came to me, they said, even my daughter Ivanka, Dad, you're the smartest one up there, but you have to act presidential. And you know, do you mind if I take off my coat? The weather's so beautiful. So Ivanka said, Dad, you have to act presidential. You're doing so well. But don't fall for it. When they attack you, don't fall for it. Just stand. And I said to myself, well, here's the problem. You have little Marco saying all sorts of things, which weren't true, by the way. Weren't true. But they're not as big as Nick, I can tell you that. But bigger than most. Hands. In fact, I was getting ready to grab him. When he was choking like a dog, I was getting ready to take that hand and hold him up because I thought he was going down, I tell you, with Chris Christie, who endorsed me, by the way. And Ben Carson yesterday endorsed me. It's interesting. I got a call from a couple of very, very great people and strong evangelicals yesterday, and they said, you know, we were teetering on you a little bit. We were sort of there, but maybe we weren't going to get there. As soon as Ben Carson endorsed you, Donald, we were there. We are with you. I want to thank them. But look, your coal industry, your steel industry, all these industries are under siege. The EPA is the Environmental Protection Group. I mean, they are a disaster what they're doing. And what they're doing to Ohio, more so than most, they're a complete disaster. We're going to change things around. Now, Trans-Pacific is going to destroy your auto industry in Ohio. They're going to do everything. They're going to take it away from you just like you're a bunch of babies. Not going to happen if I become president, okay? Not going to happen. It's a horrible, horrible trade agreement. Doesn't get any worse, but it's a horrible trade agreement. You have 12 countries, all of whom want to rip our heart out. You have China, which is not a part of it, but wants to be a part of it at a later date. They're watching every move. The document, I hear, is 6,000 or 7,000 pages long. It's too complicated. It's too big. Each country knows every word of that document, and our congressmen and our our people have never even looked at it or read it. We don't even know what the hell it says. We should not do it. And the most important weapon that they have to kill our industry and to destroy us on trade is monetary manipulation, devaluation of their currencies. And they are grandmasters. The greatest of all time is China. But Mexico's getting really good at it. Japan is a total professional. Japan, what they're doing with the yen and what they're doing to us with the cars is incredible. And it's got to stop. It's got to stop. You know, you go over to Los Angeles, you see those boats, the biggest ships you've ever seen, loaded up with cars from Japan. You know, NASCAR and Brian France, I guess you probably heard from NASCAR. They endorsed Trump. Trump. And many of the drivers, many of the drivers, we had such great people up there, including the young, hot rookie, Chase Elliott. We know Chase? And his father, Bill. I mean, the whole group. It's a great group. But they understand. They get it. They're really smart people. They get it. We got to keep our industry. Now, your governor wants to do TPP. He's got to take it away. Got to take it away. Regardless of what happens on Tuesday, he's got to take that support away. Because TPP, Ohio is a target of TPP. You'll lose your auto industry entirely, and you have to get it stopped. So with all of that being said, you have a governor that honestly, if you didn't hit oil, Ohio would be a disaster right now. You got lucky. You were sitting on top of oil, folks, okay? Like Saudi Arabia got lucky. By the way, we protect Saudi Arabia. Before the slide, they were making $1 billion a day. They pay us peanuts, okay, like we're indentured servants. They pay us peanuts. Now, they make $1 billion a day, so now let's say they make half. The oil went down. And the problem with Ohio, by the way, now that the oil is down, you've got big problems coming. Because you had, in the United States, the largest increase in a budget. In the United States, 35 or 36%, the budget of Ohio. And you're relying on the oil, but you can't rely on the oil now because the price is so low. So you got a lot of problems. So you better be careful. I've been seeing signs. Ohio is in trouble because of the price of oil. You made a lot of money with oil. You were lucky as hell. I mean, other places are cutting, but they don't have the oil factor. But now you don't have the oil factor so much anymore because of the price. Saudi Arabia, if you look at all of these countries, nothing richer, nobody richer relatively than Saudi Arabia. So they make $1 billion a day. Every time there's a threat to Saudi Arabia, we turn on the ships, send over the planes. Of course, costs you $1 million just to turn a button on some of these ships, right? To turn on the battleships, being let's start the engines, let's check them, boom, $1 million down the drain, okay? Look, we spend billions of dollars protecting wealthy countries, and we're not a wealthy country. We owe $19 trillion. Our country is weak, our country is soft, we have leadership that's pathetic, and it's got to change, folks, it's got to change. You've probably seen, You know, this whole thing of torture. I don't want torture. I don't like torture. Nobody wants torture. But we're dealing with people that are animals. We're dealing with people in the Middle East that chop off heads, that drown 50 people at a time in steel cages, heavy, heavy steel cages, and they drop them in the water, usually ocean, wherever they can find, and they drop them in the water, and they hold them for 1 hour, and then they pull them back up all dead, and then they put another 50 in. We're dealing with animals.
Yes, we are.
And then the question was asked, and it was a tough ask. They went to Ted Cruz, who was on my left. By the way, I've been on the center of every debate from the very beginning. And I never did this before. I never debated before. I do get credit. They say, you know, one of the wise guys back there said, you know, and actually I liked him that day. He said, you know the amazing thing about Trump? He's not a politician. He's only done this for 8 months, and he's killing everybody. I like that because I still believe in competence over experience, okay? And yet I have great experience. But here's the thing. I've been dealing on the other side of the equation for a long time. Nobody knows politicians better than I do. Nobody knows about all of the things like PACs, which, by the way, are a disaster, but like PACs and funding. I hate to say this, I was like sort of very, very establishment 9 months ago. I dealt from that side. And then I saw how stupid everybody was, the stupid decisions. And I say, I'm going to become very anti-establishment. And I said, I'm going to run. And the establishment said, hey, Jim, do you believe this? Trump is running. This is bad. He's self-funding his campaign. He doesn't want our money. We're not going to be able to control him. We've got to fight him. But just to finish on torture, okay? I love hopping around. You know, some people said it's like a great chess game where you go from bing, then you go here, but you never forget. You never forget. So we were at torture, and I want to just tell you. So they asked Ted Cruz a question on waterboarding. Now here are people that are like medieval times. I haven't heard about chopping. You had James Foley, and that was the beginning, right? A wonderful young man, yet so many wonderful people. A lot of Christians, but Christians, everybody. Anybody gets in their way, boom, chop off the head. So you got to stop that. You got to stop it. We can't allow that. We can't allow that. We can't allow that. In our world, we cannot allow that. We shouldn't have gone there, but you know what? Now we got to stop it, okay? And now we're going to go in, we're going to knock the hell out of it. But they asked Ted Cruz, who was right here on my left, and you know, he's a nice guy, except he lies so much. They said, Senator Cruz, waterboarding, what do you think? And he goes, oh man, let me go back and talk to my consultants. This is a bad question, I don't know. You know, they're all afraid of being politically correct, right? Then they go to me, because he didn't give an answer. And you know, he's a great debater, but he's a lousy talker. Does that make sense? Yeah. He can't talk. He talks, he goes, hey, ha, hoo, ha. He's a great debater. Well, I don't know if he's a great debater. I think I beat him in all the debates. I don't know. So they said, Cruz, and he basically, if you look back, it's from like 3 debates ago, he gave sort of a non-answer, and which is unlike him in all fairness, but he gave a non-answer. He didn't like that question. They came to me. And I said in front of the audience, and I didn't have it polled, you know, I have much more money than all of them put together, including all of their PACs times 10, times 20. I don't have a pollster. I don't want a pollster. What do I need a pollster for? If the pollsters are any good, they'd be doing what we're doing, right? Don't you think? Anyway, they spend hundreds of thousands on pollsters, and, you know, so anyway. So they came to me. They said, what do you think about waterboarding? I said, here's the story. You ready? In the Middle East, and other places. But in the Middle East, they're chopping off heads. They're drowning people. They're killing people. They would kill us so quickly if they had the capability, and they're trying to get the capability, which is, by the way, why we have to kill them, just so you understand. If there were massive weaponry available today, I would say get the hell out and let's rebuild our country real fast, okay? Because we've spent probably $5 trillion in the Middle East. And if you think about it, go back 15 years. We were much better off 15 years ago. If Saddam Hussein was in charge, a bad guy, you know, they always say, he admires Saddam Hussein. I can't stand that guy. The guy was horrible, okay? Because Putin called